Hello and welcome to the Old Tunes Fresh Takes podcast. This is the podcast where we take old tunes, record fresh versions of them and encourage you to do the same. I'm Tim Woodson.
I'm Jack the Robot. We just wanted to do this little episode 0 to sort of talk about the ideas we've got about what this podcast is going to be and what it's going to do. So this idea first started when Tim suggested at the beginning of the year to me that we take a traditional English folk song, in this instance it was The Cruel Mother that we're going to be doing for the first episode, and record our own versions of them, which we went away and did, and then in conversation with some other musicians we know, we found out that they were quite interested and they might like to be involved as well. And then we thought, well, maybe there's lots of musicians who would want to be involved. So we thought we'd open it up in the form of a podcast and invite you to get on board with reimagining these traditional songs. I think the first thing I wanted to talk about is that this is for everyone to get involved with. We really don't mind if you just play a bit of ukulele or you make beats on your computer. We're really interested in such a variety of styles. We want to hear completely fresh takes on these songs. I'm going to be doing quite electronic versions of these.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be sticking perhaps a bit more closely to the tunes, but certainly trying to do them in a way that feels natural to me anyway. And I think that's a big part of it, really, is that these are sort of part of our cultural heritage, really. And I kind of want to access an old music that I can really get to know a part of, be part of a line of musicians who've been doing this kind of thing.
Yeah, if you at home are interested in learning about this heritage as well, then that's great. If you play a bit of guitar or a bit of ukulele, or maybe you make beats on your computer, or you maybe do a cappella versions, I'd love to hear some versions of people just singing these songs. And we don't care how it's recorded. Maybe you've made a big multi-track session of it, or maybe you're just recording it on your phone, and all of that's great. I think, to be honest, I'm quite looking forward to doing one where I just record it on my phone. I really want to do one where I just scream into a guitar amp or through a distortion pedal and just see what I can do with that.
It's probably worth explaining at this point that neither me nor Jack would call ourselves folk musicians.
Absolutely not. Certainly very, very far from being experts, and little to no knowledge of the heritage anyway. We're going to be picking these songs just from books we have or from online, but we might not know very much about the songs before we choose them.
Yeah, so it's a real kind of journey for us, which we really want as many people as possible to be a part of. That would be great, just to hear what other people make of these things as we discover them. And I think, so when we've talked about doing a first episode on The Cruel Mother, which, we get into some quite interesting issues, and that based on kind of historical attitudes and things like that, and the kind of wrestling that we have to do with that. So I think there's some real meat in there as well.
Yeah. For the second episode, I've accidentally picked a religious song, which I didn't realise was religious beforehand. So, there's going to be a lot to sink our teeth into with some of these songs. Yeah, this is really open to all, and to sort of try and encourage your learning. With each episode, we're going to be uploading a sort of little resource pack for you to help you learn this, which will include a simple score of the melody, chord charts. We'll be linking to playlists of other people who have recorded these in the past to help get you started.
Yeah, so I guess we'll go over the ground rules that we're using when we put these together. So, I mean, the first thing is it's the interpretation that's important. It's not about recording quality. So if you can't or don't have access to any kind of recording equipment, then yeah, like Jack was saying before, your phone is absolutely fine. That's all you need. So we want this to be as inclusive as possible. But all we really ask is that you take the source material and that you can show your working a little bit, that it's your interpretation of a song that's from the tradition. And so it doesn't matter how much of that you use. You may end up not using any of the words or not using the tune, throwing the tune out entirely. That's absolutely fine as well. And I think, to be honest, that's quite in keeping with this tradition. That's how these original musicians were doing it. They were often making things up on the fly, bolting on bits of songs from other areas, just like incorporating it into their own local context. But you'll find tunes that are very similar but are spread all around the country, but with like slight regional variations. And I think that's what makes this such an exciting source material to engage with.
Yeah, in fact, not only all over the country, but all over the world. And for this show at the beginning, we set the parameters that we're going to be working with English folk songs. But of course, English folk songs just show up all over the place. In America, in Ireland, variations all over the British Isles, across Europe as well.
Yeah, so when we come to record the episodes as well, we're looking into the history of them as well, and we'll introduce a bit of that as we're going along, the kind of things that we've found out about them, and going over a bit of the kind of recent history of interpretation as well, picking out a few of our favourite recordings that people have done. Part of the appeal for this project for me is so that I can get a really good grounding in the kind of culture that surrounds this, and get a really thorough overview of what's going on.
And additionally, to raise the profile of these songs, that where American folk or Irish folk might have a particularly high profile right now, we feel that sometimes English folk isn't as well known. They haven't had the cultural vehicles to explode into the mainstream like the blues has, or penny whistle tunes.
So the first episode of this, as we said before, we're going to be covering the Cruel Mother. Yeah, we'll go into more of the history and interpretation of that in the episode, and that will be released on Monday the 20th of April.
Moving forward from there, we'll be releasing each episode on the third Monday of every month. If you're recording a version and you want us to include it in the podcast, we'll be playing snippets from ones that we really like. We're trying to encourage people to get them to us by about a week before that. So the second episode will be out on the 18th of May, and then if you can get us your version by the 11th of May, that'd be fantastic, and then we'll be able to include it. But even if you can't get it there in time, just please still share it with us, and we'll be sharing it through social media.
Yep, so if you want to take part, then just go and check out our Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud or Libsyn pages to find a full list of the songs that we're working on this series, and that will include scores, chord sheets and playlists of the versions that we like. And links to these can be found in the description of this episode as well. So I am Tim Woodson.
I'm Jack the Robot.
And once again, this is open to everyone regardless of your ability or musical style. We're just looking forward to hearing your fresh takes.